It's been a few days since we've had our League One status confirmed for the next year. I know we've got 2 games left, but how much of your work between then and now has been on thinking about next season?
Yeah, I've had a couple of days off, Dan, to be honest, just to relax the mind and the body and the brain, if you like, because it has been a tough old slog. We've succeeded in staying in division. We wanted to do better, so I'm not sitting here saying, oh yeah, everything's great, because we feel we should have done better in certain games. But it's a success because we've kept the football club in League One for another season. We know we have to be better next season, and then your mind flips to recruitment, as it has been for a few weeks. But once the status was confirmed last Saturday, with 2 games to go, which is always nice, because you can still gain points. The season's not just done. We've got 6 points to play for, and we're planning for next season. Next week will be a big week, because it'll be down to the retain the release list, if you like, and who's staying, who's going, and then hopefully we can have some news in the near future on potential targets.
I was going to ask you that. How much? Obviously, there's only so much you can do at the moment. But are you in conversation phase with players at the moment, or do you wait until next week?
No, we can't officially speak to any players unless they're free transfers, and we haven't spoken to no players as yet. I must stress that, because we have to respect the parent clubs that are. We have to respect them because they're contracted to the clubs. But obviously, you speak to agents all the time, and some come up with some good ones, not so good ones, and we've got the feelers out there, and we work with a select few agents who we feel we can trust. And hopefully we can bring them to fruition. But again, the process, once the season finishes, that's just not it. We're taking phone calls, we're on the phone, we're looking at other people. The recruitment policy gets harder and faster, and the workload gets more work in there. But in terms of for next season, we know what we've got to recruit, we know what we've got to get, and that'll be the plan to get them.
We'll talk about the game in a moment, but obviously, as you know, from tomorrow until Monday, football clubs and football bodies across the country are engaging in a social media boycott. As a manager and a former player, what's your view on that?
Yeah, so they should. To be even stronger, the boycotting it for the weekend. But I think these social media groups now and these companies, they need to do better things. They need to be more solid. They need to stamp their authority down. And if someone was getting racially abused at a football ground, they'd be arrested and put probably in jail. It's the same thing. It's just because it's over the phone and someone can tweet it. They can get the IP address, they can get whatever they want. I think they need to start upping the ante with the social media stuff, because I think you certainly need some photo identification. It's easy for someone to slag you off on social media. I'll no longer be on social media come the end of the season, because it's not a good platform to be on now. There's a lot of hatred on there. But I must stress as well, and that goes for some people in the media who are not working for companies, but the journalists and what do they call when they work for themselves, the freelance journalists, and they're happy to slag someone off. We spoke before to our press about some young players' mums and dads are on social media and they see the hatred towards their players. So yeah, it's a big no-no. I'm pleased that it's happening over the weekend, but I'd be more pleased if they'd done something about it on a personal note, in terms of any stuff, whether it was racial, whether it was homophobic, whatever it was, it needs addressing. How
much do players react to it? How much does it affect them? Because sometimes people think that maybe their words aren't impactful, but you will know differently.
Yeah, they are. I know every player, so I know every player looks at social media right away, whether they've won, lost or drawn. They'll see it, they won't comment on it because they'll be a bit scared to get an argument with someone, but they look at it because it's the new craze, isn't it? It's they want to look at things and what people are saying good. Now, as a previous player or a former player, I used to love getting a paper when I had a good game. I used to hate getting a paper when I had a bad game, and that was then the papers, because that's what it was about then. Nowadays it's just social media, Instagram, Twitters, whatever it is, Facebooks. But also it harms people. Players look at markings. If they get a 4 in the paper, the local paper, a marking, you're distraught. You think, am I ever being given a 4? You should get a 5 for entering the field, let alone you should get 6 for doing 10k, whatever it is. But some people don't see it like that. But what I do know is parents read the papers. Parents get the papers. My parents were always getting the Pink Echo from Liverpool when I was playing amateur football, to see my name and to see the write-ups on it. So I certainly know that definitely players look at the social media stuff, and I'm probably 99.9% sure that the families look at them as well. So yeah, it probably hurts them at times.
on Saturday, and we've had a few players out for a little while now. How are we looking ahead of Saturday's game against Sunderland?
Yeah, well, as you say, yeah, we're a bit wounded. Obviously, Sam's done his hamstring, and Adam Lowe's done his ankle ligaments. Connor's back training with us, which is a bonus. So yeah, look, we've got to wrap them up a little bit in cotton wool. There's only 2 games to go. We've said that we're not going to risk anyone with potentially a long-term injury. The lads have had an extra day off, so they've got a bit of freshness in them. And yeah, it is what it is. What we've got, we'll put a team together, a selection together for Saturday. It's a bonus to have Connor back, and hopefully they can get through the next 2 games.
Every team is experiencing, particularly with a shortened season at this stage of the season, every team's experiencing something. I think Sunderland are struggling for recognised centre backs as well, so you've got some fitness problems, but then so have your opponents, I guess.
Well, listen, I'd rather be in my shoes than someone else's shoes who are fighting to get in the playoffs with them injuries. So yeah, and that's just the way it is. And I think the season has been tough all along. The games come thick and fast. The programme's been intense, hasn't it? It's been 100 miles an hour. But for us, we're never going to risk anyone who's got any sort of injuries. Well, especially with our season, the way our season's gone, and we're safe, and we've got 2 games to play. But the games we want them to, the games we're playing in, I want them to do as well as they can. And it might be an opportunity for 1 or 2 of the youngsters to go and showcase their abilities as well. But in terms of the injuries throughout the season, you're going to get them. You've just got to persevere with them.
Final home game of the season, the home season that's been mostly played without fans. It would have been some atmosphere, probably a sellout, wouldn't it? These are the games that you miss. So I wonder whether you have a message for the supporters after a year not seeing them.
Well, yeah, look, we've missed them. We've missed you. I think they know that. It would have been nice for us to be sitting here now saying that the place home park's going to be packed to the rafters with 19,000. It would have been nice for me to say that we were in a position where Sunderland were in also, or just outside where we can compete. It's not to be, but I think a lot of certainly the diehards, everyone knows football, have known it's been a bit of a success season, although it's been a bit of a failure as well, which that's contradicting in it. But what I'm saying is, we could have done better, we should have done better, we haven't. But what we have done is, we've guaranteed these special fans League One football for next season, and the message to use is we've missed yous, and next season hopefully when we've got yous back, loud and proud, win, lose or draw, get behind the boys, because we'll hopefully have a team that can compete.
After the final game on Saturday, Sunday, the pitch is being handed over to the academy. All the age groups are playing. I think you're going to go and watch, aren't you? Talk to me about that. That's a great experience for them, isn't it? Oh,
it's a fantastic experience, isn't it? Looking forward to it, to be honest. I think right away from the age groups going right the way up, youngsters gracing the turf, and then obviously lads who are 16, 17 who are just getting YTSs for next season and looking at thinking, okay, I want a bit of this. I think it's a good incentive for them. But yeah, I'll be there watching, seeing what stars are there. I know we've got a good few lately coming through, and credit to all the youth team staff right the way through, all the coaches, because as I said, we want to have the best kids around, and that's certainly the plan.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate.